Today, we will dive much deeper into the epic story of Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, two of history's greatest inventors. When you think of electricity, what comes to mind? A light bulb, or the cables you plug into an outlet? Well, these two men are the ones who brought electricity into our lives. But let me tell you, there was quite a rivalry between them. Who was the greater inventor? Whose vision shaped the future more? In this video, we'll explore Tesla and Edison's journeys from childhood to their final breaths, the technical details of their inventions, their famous War of the Currents, and their contributions to the modern world in the finest detail. If you're ready, let's get started. Let's start with Edison. Thomas Alva Edison was born on February 11, 1847, in Milan, a small town in Ohio, USA. He was the youngest of 7 siblings, and his family struggled financially. His father, Samuel Edison, made a living as a carpenter, while his mother, Nancy Edison, a former teacher, placed great importance on her son's education. Edison's school life, however, was a complete disappointment. He only received 3 months of formal education, when his teacher called him confused and incapable of learning. His mother, furious, pulled him out of school and decided to educate him at home. Nancy taught him to read and write, read him science books, and sparked his curiosity. We could say this changed his life. Edison's interest in science began at a very young age. At 10, he set up a chemistry lab in the basement of their home. He used his mother's kitchen supplies for experiments. Sometimes glasses, sometimes spoons became his tools. By age 12, he started working to support his family. He sold newspapers, candy, and even vegetables on trains. But what's really interesting is what he did in his spare time. Edison secretly turned one of the train's baggage cars into a lab. He conducted chemistry experiments there, until one day, during a phosphorus experiment, he accidentally set the car on fire. The fire was put out, but the train conductor was furious and fired him. This incident was a turning point for Edison. His passion for invention didn't fade, it only grew stronger. Edison's first serious invention came in 1868, at age 21. The electric vote recorder. This device was designed to quickly tally politicians' votes. The idea was brilliant: press a button and the machine recorded yes or no votes. But in practice, no one wanted to use it. Politicians preferred the opportunity to debate and negotiate rather than have votes counted quickly. Edison learned a valuable lesson from this. Inventions must meet people's needs. This principle became the cornerstone of his later successes. In 1869, Edison moved to New York, where he encountered telegraph technology. The telegraph had revolutionized communication at the time, allowing messages to be sent instantly over long distances. Edison quickly mastered this field and, in 1874, developed the quadruplex telegraph. While a single wire could normally carry only one message, this device could transmit 4 different messages simultaneously. Technically, it worked by encoding signals at different frequencies. This invention brought him both fame and money. Now, he had enough capital to establish his own laboratory. In 1876, he set up his invention factory in Menlo Park, New Jersey. This was the world's first industrial research center. Edison assembled a team there and began producing inventions systematically. In 1877, the phonograph was invented. The phonograph was the first device capable of recording and playing back sound. Its working principle was simple. A needle etched sound waves onto a wax-coated cylinder, and when the cylinder was rotated, the needle vibrated to reproduce the sound. People called it the talking machine, and Edison became famous overnight. But his biggest invention came in 1879, the light bulb. Did Edison really invent the light bulb? Well, not exactly. The foundation of the light bulb was laid in 1802 by Humphrey Davy. Davy had created an arc lamp by passing an electric current between 2 carbon rods, producing a bright but short-lived light. Edison's achievement was making the light bulb practical for home use. To do this, the filament, the thin wire inside the bulb, had to be made of the right material. Edison and his team tested 6,000 different materials. They tried cotton thread, bamboo, flax, even human hair. Finally, with carbonized cotton thread, they made a bulb that burned for 13.5 hours. Later, with bamboo filaments, they extended this to 200 hours. Technically, the filament had to withstand high temperatures without melting and burn in an oxygen-free vacuum sealed glass tube. Edison solved this problem and turned the light bulb into a commercial product. Edison's vision was to bring electricity into homes. For this, he developed the direct current DC system. DC is a system where electricity flows in one direction, and it was considered reliable at the time. In 1882, he established the first power station on Pearl Street in New York. This station produced 110 volts of DC and supplied electricity to 59 homes. However, DC had a flaw: it suffered significant power loss over long distances. Raising the voltage was difficult, and losses increased with distance. This limited the widespread adoption of electricity. Now Tesla enters the stage. Nikola Tesla was born on July 10, 1856, in Smiljan, then part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire's now Croatia. His father, Milutin Tesla, was an Orthodox priest, and his mother, Juka Tesla, was a clever woman who made practical inventions at home, like a simple mechanical tool for whisking eggs. Tesla drew inspiration from his mother and developed a passion for invention at a young age. His childhood was spent close to nature. He often walked in the forest, observing birds and insects. This ignited his fascination with energy and the workings of nature. Tesla showed incredible talent in mathematics and physics. His mental calculations were so fast that his teachers sometimes thought he was cheating. In 1875, he was accepted with a scholarship to the Polytechnic School in Graz, Austria. There, he studied electrical engineering, and the idea of alternating current, AC, began to take shape in his mind. However, he couldn't complete his education due to a gambling habit, which also strained his relationship with his family. In 1880, he moved to Prague and continued learning on his own. During this time, Tesla developed theories about rotating magnetic fields and laid the groundwork for the AC motor. In 1882, while working in Budapest, he had a breakthrough moment walking in a park. The working principle of the AC motor suddenly came to him. A true Eureka moment. He immediately sketched diagrams in the dirt with a stick, a stator, a rotor, and rotating magnetic fields. This idea would change the future of electricity. Tesla arrived in America in 1884, at age 28, with just a few cents in his pocket and a letter of recommendation. The letter was from Charles Batchelor, Edison's former business partner, and read: "Dear Edison, I know this young man. He is a rare talent in the world. I want you to work with him." Edison hired Tesla and tasked him with improving the efficiency of DC generators. Tesla redesigned them, boosting efficiency from 50% to 90%. But Edison didn't pay the $50,000 bonus he had promised. He laughed and said, "Tesla, you don't understand American humor." This deeply hurt Tesla, and he left Edison's company. In 1887, Tesla founded the Tesla Electric Company and focused on developing the AC system. AC is a system where electricity periodically reverses direction. Technically, it has a sinusoidal waveform, allowing voltage to be easily stepped up or down with transformers. Compared to DC, its major advantage was that it could be transmitted over long distances with minimal power loss. Tesla also perfected the AC motor, which used rotating magnetic fields and was highly efficient at converting mechanical energy into electricity. Tesla's AC system became a rival to Edison's DC system. Edison held the patents for DC and earned significant revenue from it. The rise of AC was a threat to him. This is where the War of the Currents began. Edison launched a propaganda campaign to discredit AC. First, he claimed AC was dangerous. In 1887, he published a pamphlet titled "The Dangers of Electric Current," arguing that AC's high voltage could kill people. Technically, he was right. AC operated at high voltage, but this was necessary for long-distance transmission. Edison staged demonstrations to scare the public. He killed stray dogs and cats with AC electricity. In 1890, he powered the first electric chair with AC in New York. A convict named William Kemmler was executed in it, and the process was gruesomely prolonged. Edison presented this as the brutality of AC. Tesla didn't back down. In 1888, he partnered with George Westinghouse. Westinghouse bought Tesla's AC patents for $60,000 and worked to popularize the system. In 1891, Tesla gave a lecture at Columbia University, passing 250,000 volts of AC through his own body to prove its safety when used correctly. This shocked the audience but also demonstrated that AC was harmless under the right conditions. The turning point in the War of the Currents came in 1893 at the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. The fair was a testing ground for the future of electricity. Edison offered to light the fair with DC for $1,000 million. Westinghouse and Tesla said they could do it with AC for $400,000, and they won the bid. The fair attracted 27 million visitors, and over 100,000 AC-powered bulbs turned night into day. This boosted public confidence in AC. The ultimate victory came in 1895. Westinghouse and Tesla built the world's first major AC hydroelectric power plant at Niagara Falls. The plant operated with 10 5,000 horsepower turbines and sent electricity 32 kilometers to Buffalo. Technically, it generated 22,000 volts at a 25 Hz frequency, which transformers stepped down to 110 volts. Edison's DC system couldn't compete at such distances. AC became the standard for electricity distribution. Tesla didn't stop with AC. His dreams were far wilder. He developed the idea of wireless energy transmission. Believing electricity could be sent through the air without cables, his concept was to use the Earth as a conductor and reflect energy through the ionosphere to reach everywhere. In 1901, he began building the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island. This 57-meter-tall tower was designed to transmit electricity wirelessly and create a global energy network. It was also intended to enable communication via radio waves. The project cost $150,000, and Tesla secured funding from J.P. Morgan. However, Morgan doubted its commercial viability and withdrew support. The tower was demolished in 1917 due to debts. Tesla's dream remained incomplete, but his ideas weren't wasted. His work on radio waves laid the foundation for modern wireless communication. In fact, there was a patent dispute between Tesla and Marconi over radio's invention. Marconi sent the first transatlantic radio signal in 1901, but Tesla claimed the technology was his. In 1943, after Tesla's death, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld Tesla's radio patents. Beyond his inventions, Edison was an incredible businessman. He was one of the founders of General Electric and was renowned for his patent strategies. He held a total of 1,093 patents, a record at the time. Inventions like the phonograph light bulb and motion picture projector's kinescope transformed daily life. For example, the kinescope could play images at 46 frames per second, laying the groundwork for cinema. Edison excelled at turning inventions into commercial products. His Menlo Park lab operated like an assembly line. One team designed, another tested, and another marketed. However, his rivalry with Tesla somewhat tarnished his image. Some argue that Edison overshadowed Tesla's ideas and waged an unfair war against AC. Edison passed away on October 18, 1931 at age 84. Before his death, he said, "I started the electric age." And he was right. He was remembered as the Wizard of Menlo Park. Tesla spent his final years in difficult conditions. The failure of Wardenclyffe drove him into financial ruin. He lived in New York hotel rooms and couldn't pay his debts. On January 7, 1943, at age 86, he died alone in a hotel room. Only a few attended his funeral, but his legacy shone brightly after his death. The AC system became the backbone of global electricity. Wireless communication, remote control, radar, and even the foundations of the internet stemmed from his ideas. Tesla was more than an inventor. He was a visionary. After his death, cars, science awards, and museums were named in his honor. And there you have it, friends. The story of Tesla and Edison made life easier with practical inventions. Tesla shaped the future with visionary ideas. So, who do you think was the greater inventor? I'm waiting for your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We value your thoughts greatly. Let us know in the comments.